In this video, I'm going to run through some Illustrator basics, show you how to work with some of the tools and some of the controls you have. First of all, everything in Illustrator is a path. Paths are created from anchor point to anchor point, and let's just put a colour inside this. We have a fill and a stroke on the outside, and we can control the stroke size. Now I can manipulate the shape with the selection tool, and with the direct selection tool that allows me to take an anchor point and distort it. Now each anchor point, when I select it, will change the control bar and allow me to convert it between a smooth point and an anchor point. So for instance, I can turn this into a smooth point, which will allow it to have a curve. We'll come back to using these in a later video, but just to show you, I can put it back to a corner point by clicking the convert tool. So an interesting, fairly new technique introduced into Illustrator is the ability to access these little dots up here. These are what I describe as NURBS, and they allow me to pull down and create curves, or pull away and create more corner points. Now I can isolate one of those by simply clicking on the object and then deciding I want to talk to only that anchor point there. There you go. But if I use the normal selection tool, then I can't access the NURBS on this star. I need to move into the direct selection tool, and it's just simply because the star is more complex. Likewise the hexagonal, and so even objects that I've drawn will give me access to NURB elements. So let's take a quick look at one of the tools in your toolkit, the eraser tool. I'm going to strip it out, and anytime you see any of these little chips, it means that there's a drop down menu, and it's also called a tear off menu. So you just simply linger, click and hold and linger, pull this off, and then you can always just close it again. So, oops. So I'm going to start with the eraser in my floating panel, and the eraser is just simply direct it at the object and click, and it means I can punch a hole or draw through an object to erase a section of it. And in actual fact, what I've done is I've now made two objects, and they also if there's a stroke involved, it will redraw the stroke. With the scissor tool, you need to be a little bit more careful, and you need to actually cut on the path. So as I approach the path, it will say path. I am going to click, and then I'm going to click again when I see the word path on a second part. So I've cut it in two now. In order to see it, then I need to select that area. It might involve me clicking away and then clicking back onto the object so that I can see the split. Notice this time it has not redrawn the path. This is an open path, whereas this is a closed path. So it's a completely formed fill area with a closed path, and we've got an open path here. The knife tool literally will cut like butter. So it's a very nice tool if you want to draw a shape or cut into a shape. Key things to remember are to start your cut above the path and finish it below the path. I'm going to give you one more way to cut, and then that is actually something we can use over multiple shapes. So I'll just show you the possibilities. I can draw a line through one or more shapes, and then with only the line selected, not the shapes underneath, I can say object, path, divide objects below. And then that gives me access to all the parts. So it's just another quick and easy way to create multiple cuts.